How are we all doing? I hope you're keeping well. So it must be nearly 3 weeks ago since I put up a proper video. I've been very busy around here doing non-interesting related things. However, and then I put up those two short videos of the Lisnagarvey mast. We actually, myself and the good lady, went away for a night up to Belfast, which was very relaxing. And we had a great time up there. Went out for dinner, had a few drinks, and it was quite nice. So on the way up I made that little video, but on the way back she wanted to go into the shopping centre there. So I said, you go into the shopping centre and I'm going to go for a walk. So I went across the road and took those shots of the mast, which were quite interesting. It's the only Blah Knox aerial in Western Europe, and it's supposed to, the design of it, the shape of it, was supposed to help reduce fading. It's there since the 1935, I think. So I would hope that it will be some sort of a protected structure at this stage, given the fact that it's nearly 90 years there. But it remains to be seen. They've actually since turned off the transmitter. I don't know, in the last day or two it's gone quiet. They had that retune message going for probably 5 weeks, but it's gone quiet now. So that's the end of that. That's all she wrote. So it's another one off. An awful lot of the BBC transmitters have vanished off medium wave in the last couple of months, which isn't good. Just means there's less and less to listen to. Still a bit out there to listen to, but as time rolls on there's less and less. So things like pantry transmitters and so forth are becoming more and more important. I've said it before, I'll just say it again to reiterate my view on this. I would like to see the medium wave band at some stage handed over to people like us. That, you know, maybe we could have, say, a limit of 1 watt, and you could transmit a bit of music or whatever you wanted to do, like they do. And I know they have that situation in Holland where you can apply for a 1 watt license, and I think it's fairly straightforward. So there's lots of different little quirky radio stations popping up on medium wave in Holland. And of course in the US they have the low power AM 100 milliwatt, which 100 milliwatts into an efficient radiator could probably get out maybe a mile or two. So it remains to be seen. I haven't heard of anyone being prosecuted for being a pirate on medium wave, so I don't know. If I know there's a couple of pirate radio stations in Ireland. There's one up in Sligo that every now and again he retransmits some Lanzarote radio station. There's one in Dublin, calls itself various things, but it comes on every weekend on 1395 AM. I think they're 200 or 300 watts. Cover Dublin City really well, and can be heard on the west coast of England as well, and Wales. So, because I can remember driving over to the MVCF one year, and I was listening to it nearly up as far as Holywell. So it's a good signal. Anyway, having said all that, and I'm back. I don't know how many videos I'm going to get to make in the next while, but hopefully I'll get in here a little bit. But it's more of a winter thing when you can't do anything else. There's a lot of other stuff to do. Having said all that anyway, Eddystone. I splashed out recently and I bought myself a little radio. I bought myself an Eddystone EC10. And now some people hate these things and some people love them. Are they mutton dressed as lamb? Yeah, they probably are. They were Eddystone's first transistor radio. Performance wise, they're not all that hot at all. They drift. They're microphonic when the gain is turned up. But they're very cute looking, and they're, from a physical construction point, they're really well made, and they do work. They do give a reasonable account of themselves, and but they do drift a bit in that. I remember seeing one of these years ago. I bought 2 Eddystones off this fellow in South County Dublin. I bought an 840C, the grey one, the last one, of the 840s, and I bought a 888A, and they were both in desperate condition, and are still in desperate condition. The 840C was working, and it stopped working a while ago. I haven't looked at it. The diode glass was smashed in it when I bought it, and it had been butchered a little bit, and it's in sad condition. And the 888A I never used because the dial card is broken in it. So I bought it. I think it was like 17 or something when I bought it, with the view to that's a job for me when I retire. And I still haven't mustered up the courage to start stripping the front off them. It's a massive undertaking with an Eddystone to take the front off, especially one of them more compact receivers. But I think they only made 600 or 700 888As, so there's not too many of them out there. The EC10, on the other hand, they made quite a few of, and I suppose this could be considered as the transistorized version of the 840. You know, the 840 also looks very snazzy, but suffers from the same problems. Microphonic, drifts terribly. The valves are underrun. I don't think there's enough HT for them really to perform an AC/DC setup, and they're not really great. I think the HT is like 90 volts in them. People have reported good results by adding a doubler circuit to the HT to bring up the HT to maybe 180 volts, you know, with the 2 diodes and a cap, or a cap and 2 diodes, or whatever it be. Anyway, I want to show you this. I bought this off eBay anyway. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Bought the 2 radios off your man, and he had an EC10, and he used to use it in his bedroom. I remember asking him, would you sell that? And he said, no, I use that for listening to 80 meters at night time, you know. But I remember it just stuck in my head, and when I seen this one come up on eBay, I thought, you know what, I'm going to treat myself to that. I like the look of it. So here it is. Here it is. Bring in the camera. Real professional like. A nice little radio. As you can see, it looks like something that wouldn't be too far out of place on Joe 90 or Thunderbirds or something like that. Performs alright. When I got it first, the last IF amplifier transistor, which is our old little friends here, OC171, same as the AF11 series, all suffer from tin whisker issues. Yeah, the last IF amplifier transistor was, after a little bit of judicious poking about, we found that when we snipped the screen lid, it came to life, but it had all sorts of issues. So we replaced all those with these AF127s. Well, the 126 might have found its way in there as well, but they're actually all the same. AF121 to 128, I think they're all the same transistor anyway. There's absolutely no difference in them at all when you look up the spec sheet for them. So replaced all those. Main smoother reservoir. What is it? It's a 350. This was a 10k resistor. So she was draining batteries pretty quick. So we replaced that. We also replaced the transistor on the bias in the AF. I can't remember what one it was now. It was making it go noisy anyway, so I replaced that. I think it was a 15k carbon, which are noisy transistors anyway. It's working. The RF tracking has gone out slightly with changing the transistors. Not by much, a little bit. I don't know how close these would have been when they were new anyway. They probably wouldn't have been bang on. But it's working alright. It is microphonic when you whack up the gains. The RF gain control is not working 100%. And on top, by replacing the transistors, it would have come, but it hasn't changed at all. I need to look further into it. There's probably a few little modification-y things I would do to it. But then I don't really want to go messing with it either. It's in decent cosmetic condition for its age. Other than the paint is chipped off in a few spots around the handle here, a couple of spots on the case, but you know, it's in very good nick for its age. So, and the other thing that had happened was the dial cord had slipped off. But luckily it hadn't unravelled itself, so it was just a matter of putting it back around the pulleys and we were good to go. Did all the usual things then, cleaned the switches with a bit of magic spray, carefully applied lubrication to the tuning mechanism, and that's pretty much all I've done to it. So I have it hooked up to the 80-meter dipole, which is configured, which is joined together at the end into a Marconi T, and I've got a good ground. So I will turn off the noise emitting LED workshop lights and we'll have a listen to it. We're on Manx radio at the minute, which thankfully hasn't decided to switch off just yet. As you can see, there's no trace of BBC Ulster now. Gone.
I'm Coriander, and my favourite hobby is sitting in the fridge and waiting. So
One for you. There's Absolute Radio. It's shifted up a little bit, the tracking. Do I go in messing with it and break and risk the chance of breaking cars, or do I leave it alone? I think I'm going to leave it alone. It hasn't gone out that far.
To run a growing business is to be on a gift.
So I guess she's just keeping your feet firmly on the ground.
Definitely.
As moms do.
Yeah, to her.
Well, that was Conor Roberts talking to Juliet Ferrington. So both the Wales game and the England game.
BBC Scotland. I'd say BBC Scotland would last on medium wave a while. I hope so anyway, because you know they I think they kind of still rely on medium wave up there.
Actually, that the Denisovans were the first ones that were detected around 250,000 years ago. And we
Radio 4, which should be 720, and it's kind of just 730, so there's a 10k shift.
Were then in the cave for a period of time.
Like 14 points to 6.
And you've been...
That could be Radio Caroline, but I'm not going to sit on it waiting for an ident.
Neo-fertility. Advanced
And that's Spirit at the bottom of the dial. So we'll go up one. So we're up here now, range 4. That's gold. 1548. It's it's not too far out on that. So range 5 is going out, but 4 is not too far out. Let's see if there's any Dutch pirates on the air tonight. One or two of them. I don't know what that is. Just at around 3 megahertz. German anyway.
Also das kommt wirklich häufig vor.
D'accord. Son clap, t'as pas dû mettre ton anti-claquette ce soir. Jean-François est parti, je pense que Henri est parti aussi.
Right, lots of 80 metre signals, so we'll go up to range 3. Spin her down. The lovely thing about all Eddystone radios have one good thing in common, and that is the tuning mechanism. Look at that. Weighted, freewheeling, lovely.
Je pense bien la musique chez toi, là, pas de problème. Si c'est maintenant, par la suite, tu vas faire des pulsos en ce qui te concerne, 5 Sierra, Alpha, Radio en clarté.
It sounds like an AM radio amateur. Right. Let's try our BFO for a bit of SSB. Now, so we turn on the BFO. Because the BFO isn't all that strong, I suppose I should really increase the value of the BFO injection capacitor. We have to turn down the RF gain. Turn up the AF gain. And turn this to LSB. CQ contest, that's what's wrong with them. G6 X-ray, that's a nice call sign. Right, well that's enough of them anyway in that contest. Just ruins the whole thing.
Der Person, der auf dem betreffenden Platz sitzt, zeigen oder deutlich machen. Jeder Auslegung.
There's the buzzer. It's about in the right spot too. 4625. You can hear it drifting.
It tells us that every imagination of man will continuously motivate, sing, rising.
That sounds like Brother Star. He's dead now.
Rising waves of the sea.
So.
That touched me when I told him.
49 metre sounds good. Let's see what 40 metre amateur band sounds like. You can see it kind of gets a bit cramped. You can listen to a bit of. Now it has an audio filter for single or for constant wave Morse, so. Plenty of signals coming in on 41. Now let's go up another one.
one location.
It sounds quite good.
Radio Mountain for further expansion. Königs Wusterhausen was full up, and if any additional installation was needed, then a new location would be sought. Towards the end of the European War in the middle of the last century, as Russian troops approached Berlin, they were ordered to capture the twin Königs Wusterhausen and Gießen radio stations undamaged. The final broadcasts from Königs Wusterhausen under the Nazi administration occurred towards the end of April 1945. On April the 25th, the few remaining radio personnel at Königs Wusterhausen Gießen closed the stations down and fled. At the end of that same year, 1945, the Russians installed a 10-kilowatt long-wave transmitter into Sender House number 3, and this carried the main program stream from East Berlin. In August 1946, a 100-kilowatt long-wave transmitter was installed, and this carried the Deutschland sender program, also from East Berlin. This unit was on the air for more than 30 years until it was closed in 1997, though it still remains in place.
Noten, a non-stop program of 1,000 jolly notes of music, featuring Ludwig Bernauer and the Meister Sextet. We're all going to sing. Ted Demke was going to play his bandoneon, Waldemar Giebisch on the piano, and the Golden Seven and their orchestra, assisted by the Orchestra of the Deutschlandsender, directed by Karl Liszt and Georg Hennig.
Might be set for colleges.
So you can see it's quite a good general shortwave listening radio. It's certainly good enough. It's certainly as good as the 840C anyway. There's 20 meters is still coming in. You kind of want to be a safe cracker up there. Once you go past sort of 7 megahertz, you want to be a safe cracker. The Mark II one of these had a fine tune control on it, but even that wasn't up to a whole lot.
North Macedonia, Ukraine versus North Macedonia, and Austria versus.
We'll just go up to the top band and see if we can hear that one up there. It's a bit late in the day, but no, all dead, no sporadic activity or that.
Madison, Milwaukee, DX get-together for people in primarily in Wisconsin, in that area. Says we would be very pleased if anyone could join us. The Madison, Milwaukee DX get-together has been held on the third Saturday in August every year except the 2020 pandemic year since 1994.
Anyway,
from the beginning has been to promote camaraderie.
That's the EC10. I thought I'd give you a quick look at that because I think it's an interesting receiver. I'm very happy with it. I actually use it in the house, in the bedroom, because it's compact, it's light. So I'm very happy with it.
In Wisconsin, this is basically just north of Chicago.
So not really much else to report except a lot of sporadic activity in the last week, and I've been getting all sorts of Spanish, German, French, and I even heard some Arabic speaking stations on the bottom of the FM dial around 87.5, 87.6, coming in really strong at times, even here on the workshop radio with the flower pot area. But sadly I haven't been able to, I've been messing around with the DX D808, the XH data radio, and 4-element Yagi, trying to see if I could lock RDS to make a positive identification of one of these stations. Haven't had any joy yet, but we'll keep working away at it. So that's it. No more to report really. Hopefully I'll get another video or two up soon. Just wanted to give you a quick look at that Eddystone. We even got the original user's manual with it, which has a full circuit diagram in it too, and goes into the alignment notes and everything, which is quite nice to have. So that's it. I'll sign off for now, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Thanks for watching. I hope I haven't bored you to death with my stupid little radio, but I just thought I'd like to share it with you. I'll see you soon, all being well. Take care of yourselves out there, and I'll catch you again.